Back at Death Valley and set to go in the second half. Clemson getting a late score before halftime. Tony Lazara, who missed the extra point to leave it 20-7, ready to kick it off to either Sikigala, who's in the middle, or Scooter Monroe, or Julian Gary. And this will be another touchback. And the Terps will go from their 20. Back in Clemson, Dave Barnett, Bill Curry, Mike Golick. How different does this make the second half outlook for Maryland to give up that late touchdown?
I think Maryland's got to take some intelligent risk, empty the playbook, fake punts, whatever it takes to tell their team we're trying to win this game.
I absolutely agree. And, you know, Clemson, you wonder if they're going to start to roll now. They're mixing it up so well on offense. Woody Dantzler keeping that defense on their heels a little bit. See if we get more of the same this half.
You're agreeing with me again.
It'll change.
If you know one thing, you know it will change, Bill. Don't be fooled. Alvin McCall wanted to start the second half with a bang, and he goes deep, but he overthrows Julian Gary. And let's check in down below with Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Dave, I spent halftime in the Clemson locker room. Now, we've been hearing all week from the Clemson coaches and assistants that they are demanding perfection. They feel so far in this game that they're not getting it. Remarks that were going around the locker room included things like, we're not playing like a Clemson football team. You are getting outworked. One screw-up will cost you everything you've been working so hard for the last 2.5 months. Then Woody Dantzler chimed in and said, Maryland's got a little belief in their heart. Defense, go out there and knock it out of them.
Yeah, who's ahead? 20-7. Lamont Jordan on the carry. The first half numbers indicative of the score with an advantage of 227 to 137 total yardage.
Yeah, you see those rushing yards for Maryland. Not enough to set up the play action pass. That's something that Maryland wants to do. They want more drop back pass. They want some more play action pass, but you've got to have a little bit of threat of a running game for that to work.
But Gary was just wide open just now.
Yes, he was.
McCall missed him.
Quarterback draw, McCall, not quite enough for the first down. Keith Adams reads it, reacts, and he hits him a yard short.
First drive in the third quarter, always important, both offense and defensively. Who comes out? You heard what Michelle said. Woody Dantzler told that defense, go knock the momentum out of them. Well, there's the man you want to do it. Keith Adams stops him 2 yards short. That's all he needed. Clemson's going to get the ball back.
Well, we've got 5 tackles for Keith Adams. Normal game for him. You're going to have him up around 13, 14, 15.
As crazy as it sounds, this is a place you've got to have the guts to go for it. Some kind of fake.
Marker down. You have the third best punter in the country, and Bernard sails another long one to Reams, who stops in his tracks. A 52-yard boot, and Moses Cruz was there on the kick coverage, but we'll wait for Robin Wood's call.
And where that flag was thrown on the sideline, it just might be defensive line offside. Nope. Nope. Offense lined up incorrectly. They ought to make him kick it again.
I would. He got a long kick. Ball at the 20-yard line. I'd make him kick it again as well. Try and get a little better field position out of this.
The guy can really boom the ball. He was kicking it beautifully in warm-ups.
He's gonna have to kick it again.
Procedure on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat fourth down.
You know, his leg might be sore now, or I mean, his leg might be tired now. Bill, he just kicked.
Little shot at the kicking profession there.
No.
I've never known a D lineman that liked kickers or punters, but you'd like this guy because he can boom it. But they've come out, Mike. They got stopped. They had a nice kick, got some good field position, made a nice play by Cruz, blew it by not lining up correctly. Real poor start for Maryland in the second half.
We'll wipe out a 52-yarder, and Brooks Bernard has it go through his legs in the end zone. He'll kick it through the end zone and take the safety. Brooks Bernard named for Brooks Robinson, but unable to pick it quite like Robinson on that one. And he did about all he can. He just avoided a chance for Clemson to jump on it and get the touchdown. Something else that can't happen if you're trying to pull off an upset. Special teams mistakes. But that, they don't send Bernard out there to have to attempt another kick and have the bad snap go through his legs and all the way through the end zone.
And why is Brooks Bernard not punting this ball? He kicks it a country mile and he kicks it high.
Ryan Kopka instead. Gardner on the return. Marker down at midfield.
Rod Gardner with the return and Flanagan on the play.
Flag thrown right as Gardner completed the 20-yard return. Tigers have enjoyed tremendous field position all night. It's going to get a little worse here. It's been a bruising night for the Terps.
During the return, illegal on the receiving team, 10 yards to
The key injury there, the long snapper who had the knee injury, Rudolph, and thus not available for that last snap. It was mishandled. It was Jimmy Connolly instead, and he's working on trying to get it better next time.
The 28-yard line.
That's they're going to give to Zachary.
And off to Travis Zachary. Stop by number 35.
I assure you, the single worst feeling in football is to be the center on this play. Now, that is not Brooks Robinson. If he's named for Brooks, we call Brooks Hoover because he would have scooped that thing up and gotten it off. But Jimmy Connolly feels terrible about that. I speak from experience. That's why he's over on the sideline practicing.
Well, Brooks Bernard didn't have a glove. This would have come in handy there. Terps immediately point at the center from Clemson, Kyle Young.
Well, then another official came in and almost threw a flag right on the right guard. So I think they're going to call against the offense here.
Good ball, on the offense.
It didn't take Kyle Young very long to point at the defense, though, did it? They just didn't agree with his call. He thought he'd just wiggle the ball a little bit. That works on big old dumb defensive line.
You know what? It does sometimes.
As for 2nd and 11, the quarterback draw. I tell you, Maryland has done about as well as anybody in a long time at containing the runs of Dantzler. Less than 30 yards from him on the ground in the first half.
And really the whole offensive team for Clemson, they had 112 at halftime. They're used to 299 rushing, 510 total. They're well below on the way to their average.
So 3rd and 6. And the swing, Zachary, who lined up wide, is going to be very close to the first down. Then he fumbles it, and Maryland hops up saying they have the recovery. And they do. Maryland ball at the 41-yard line.
Now, everything has gone Clemson's way from about 2 minutes left in the first half.
Randell Jones, junior safety, Frederick, Maryland, gets the recovery here.
And Maryland didn't have a defensive answer for this. The reason it was so wide open is that nobody came out with Zachary when he went in motion. But when they did pursue, they nailed him and knocked the football loose. This Maryland defense is playing a little more inspired than it has in recent weeks.
We saw the first drive of the game. Clemson throws an interception on a tip ball. Now their first drive in the third here. Maryland forces another turnover, putting themselves in good position. Now the offense has got to do something with it. And another Maryland player is down. We already showed you the graph of 5. This is number 6.
This is incredible. I've never seen a game with this many guys getting attention. This is Rod Little's. And let's look in on Nebraska and Texas Tech. Reese Davis.
Dave, you guys mentioned containing Woody Dantzler from Maryland. Texas Tech not having similar success with Eric Crouch. He had already run for his 9th touchdown of the season, and here's his 9th touchdown pass to John Gibson, who made his first career touchdown catch, and the Huskers rolling by 3 touchdowns.
Now, was he one of your top 3 there, Mike?
Didn't I say something about Eric Crouch?
I thought you did.
I believe I had him as one of my top 3 that I could make a case for.
Oh, he's
yes,
about the third best.
Rod Little's junior from Gainesville, Florida. And let's go down to the shelter for you right now.
Well, Dave, I spoke to Ron Vanderlinden at halftime as well, and he said his team is actually playing pretty good football. He actually likes what his defense is doing best. He wants to see a few more things out of his team. He wants to see them force more turnovers, capitalize on Clemson's mistakes, and turn little plays into big plays. He commented on all these injuries, and they continue, Dave. Specifically, he said Lamont Jordan will continue to be in and out of this game. His hip pointer continues to bother him. Back to you, Dave.
Well, the first point on that list, they just do force a turnover. Now I can get to .2 and turn it into a big play offensively, but Littles has not moved since the end of that play. And let's take the break with 11:33 to go in the third quarter at Clemson, where it's 22-7.
First quarter, Florida State leads Duke.
Good sight. Rod Little's finally up on his feet and headed to the sideline for Maryland. He got caught by his own man in chasing Zachary here. We're going to watch right there Leon Joe bend his back and his neck backwards. And then the scramble for the loose ball. So happily he walks off, and Maryland now ready to go from the 41 of the Tigers. McCall, protection breaks down, and he almost slips a tackle. As it is, he'll pick up 2 as Chad Carson hangs on.
46, Chad Carson. Pickup of 2 yards.
So many times Chad Carson is left out of all the publicity because he plays with the great Keith Adams. Chad lines up in the middle. He's responsible for one of these gaps. Flows very nicely when he sees it go to the outside, and this thing goes for a long gainer if he doesn't make the play.
He's used to being in Adam's shadow. They played each other as high school rivals in the Atlanta area. Jordan with a few moves. Lamont not getting much action tonight because of the hip. A pick up there, ended by Charles Halfley.
And you know where those two great linebackers are from. I'm sure you remember that. They're from College Park, Georgia, which turns out great football players.
The birthplace of all pro centers, isn't it?
Actually, you got it right.
And Pompano Beach turns out some pretty good safeties.
Yes.
Halfley, their third leading tackler, behind Carson and Adams. A must 3rd and 2 here for the Terps. Jordan, for all his great moves, can only pick up 1. And a flag is down. Another tackle by Halfley. And it took all of Jordan's talent just to pick up that 1 yard.
Yeah, and with a sore hip, too. Probably not able to shift those hips like he normally would and avoid some tacklers. You saw the play before. He was one-on-one with a linebacker. Don't know if he could put the moves on he normally could.
I'll tell you this, though. That was one of the best 1-yard runs we've seen this year.
Took a lot to get the yard.
Guy's the player. Those hip pointers only hurt when you breathe. It's about the only time. Man, those things are painful.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat 3rd down.
Well, how bad would it have been without the holding?
This is a very determined effort by an outstanding player who would like to get back to the big numbers of a year ago.
It's now 3rd and 16, and all 85,000 being heard. Fake draw. McCall hanging 1 deep from Monroe. Off his fingertips, and he delayed his pattern just for a hair, and that's all it took. He stopped running just long enough that the pass was out of his reach.
Don't stop your pattern running down the middle of the field unless you absolutely know that ball is underthrown. He was right in between the corner and the safety. We're seeing the end of it when he started up again. But, Dave, you are absolutely right. He just slowed up enough. He does it. He is in the end zone right now, and they're celebrating.
Very polished wide receivers continue to fly on deep balls. He let up just a little, and that was just enough to come up short. Nice throw by McCall, one of many he's made tonight.
Pooch kicker back out. Silkovic. They come after him, almost get him. Here's Reams. Back out to the 20. College football later tonight here on ESPN2 comes to you from Fort Collins, UNLV and Colorado State. 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. Our Mountain West matchup here on ESPN2. ESPN.com is your home for college football on the internet. Chancellor and the Tigers, 9:30 to go in the third quarter from their 20, leading 22-7. Zachary with some room right up the gut. Another first down and another trip downstairs to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Dave, I spoke with Maryland trainer Sandy Worth. She told me strong safety Rod Littles got bent in half the wrong way. She said he had a little pain in his low back, but obviously he felt good enough to return. He's back in this ballgame.
That's good to see, and it's a little surprising to see after watching that hit again. Zachary ripping off some huge chunks now here in the second half. 18 more run out of bounds by Okanlawan.
Not good for the Maryland defense. They were in disarray. They were running people on and off the field. Didn't get their subs in there quickly enough. And that's what this Clemson fast-paced tempo does to a defense.
Zachary over 100 now. 105 yards, 15 carries. Landon Jones plugging up the defensive line this time.
Well, they're just running really a normal offense right now, just going either off tackle, letting Zachary pick his holes, or taking it around the end, just trying to get that O-line to push that defensive line of Maryland back. Again, not a lot of size on either line. Clemson getting the best of it right now.
Chancellor rolling and throwing in a crowd, a strike. I mean, right between Jackie Robinson's 8 and 2 for 13 yards.
Hey, doesn't it go in our name Hall of Fame?
They should.
Wow, what a great name.
He's in every other Hall of Fame.
I thought he was throwing this one a little too late. I thought he should have pulled the trigger a little early, but he absolutely threaded the needle on that one. I saw him doing that play in warm-up, hitting him just like that.
Rambert giving Zachary a little breather. And an impressive Clemson drive.
That little bitty munchkin O-line of Clemson that has such pride of performance is just knocking these guys back now. Coming off, coming off, coming off. Here they come again.
One more time, Rambert. Setting up a 3rd and 1. Jackson making an awful lot of tackles. Very active, strong safety.
Michael, old style. Old style.
Out of this offense, we talked at the top about this being the 2000 version of the single wing a little bit. They're just running and getting up to the line and playing smash mouth football. Good to see.
Everything old is new again. One more time, Rambert, and met hard, but should have enough for the first down. He needed to get just across the 25, and Mike Whaley had the initial rude greeting along with Duran Roundtree.
Everybody got good movement along the front except Kyle Young, 59. Center kind of got knocked back and stuffed by the nose guard there, and that cut down the options for the back, and they came up with 4th and short.
He is short by about 1.5 inches, guys.
Do you reckon they'll go for it, Mike?
I just want to see if I'm right first. Then I'll let you know. Yeah. I'll get back to you.
And not quite.
I'm so,
golly, isn't it amazing?
So sick and tired of being right.
Hey, right there with you, bud.
I don't think there's any doubt they're going for this. There's no doubt at all.
You reckon they will?
I reckon they would.
You sound funny when you say I reckon.
I didn't want to use that rabbit line
part of your
again.
vocabulary?
Is that rabbit line you said earlier?
You jumped a rabbit. Yeah. Meant you got something right.
Chancellor needing just inches will sneak. And he'll get it easily.
Now, that was good movement by the O-line, but that's also excellent quarterback sneak running. The great Ray Dorr, one of the coaches that I respected the most in football, taught his quarterbacks to get their pads down just like this. and drive their legs. Watch him move the whole pile back. That's how you make first downs and keep from getting nailed by linebackers.
Rambert now keeps moving. Out of the 18, you see so many quarterbacks try and leap over the line.
Man. Yeah, they love to see those leap. And then they like to get that one and put that Rydell in the middle of the one and cave in the sternum. Yeah, guys like Mike Golick, they love to do that.
10th play of the drive coming up here. And this is one of the longer drives the Tigers have had to make, 62 yards. Zachary has returned, and he takes it inside the 15, and he's close for another first.
I guarantee you they are happy it's doing that. I mean, this is normally that offensive going all over the place. They are absolutely ecstatic. I guarantee you, especially the offensive line, that they're just running straight ahead. They're not even, like I said, not getting in the huddle. Haven't been doing it the whole game. They just want to run it straight ahead, let the O-line push back the D-line, make this a nice 15, 18-play drive.
Out of snaps under center for Dantzler. Sneaks and has yet another first down pickup.
We are receiving a clinic on the quarterback sneak from Woody Dantzler. That's how you run quarterback sneaks, just like that.
That's how you win the Heisman right there, huh? Running sneaks like that.
Maybe. You can catch Michael Vick. He might do it. I'm telling you, he's good.
Or again, you probably think of the Clemson offense as one that throws it all over the lot. They've passed only 15 times tonight. Zachary to the 8. They have run it more than twice as many times as they've passed it, and that's about what the percentage is for the year. They are nearing 200 rushing yards. They average almost 300 rushing yards. So yeah, they have the spread, and they go from the shotgun, and Dantzler's a highly rated passer, but they are far from a one-dimensional team that can't grind it out on the ground. They specialize in it. Dantzler almost untouched, has his second touchdown tonight. And isn't that one of the benefits for the running game of spreading out the defenders? There's all kinds of holes if you find them as quick as Dantzler can.
The first time I saw that play, LSU ran it in 1962. The quarterback faking to the fullback and then going on a counter move wide open for the touch.
Last PAT banged off the right upright for Lazara. This one is wide left. A little overcompensation. Woodrow Dantzler again finding the end zone and getting the congratulations. 28-7.
ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by the United States Army. Be all you can be.
Woodrow Dantzler, 2 touchdowns on the ground tonight. Clemson has a touchdown every other possession. 4 all told. 28-7 the score with 5:34 to go third quarter. A happy homecoming it is for the Tigers. Julian Gary. May be a big return. What a spin move, and a flag is down. And now another flag after the tackle. 26-yard return should it stand, but there are 2 separate penalties to sort out. And they don't need Keith Adams' contribution.
Good captain will always stay right with the officials. Try and broker the deal as much as he can.
And they really appreciate the input, too.
Yeah.
Invariably. Oh, thank you, sir. You want to stand here and consult with us? Too much talk.
They're not in any hurry at all.
Yeah, they're wasting. This is taking too long. Can't be that hard, man. There are only a few things to call. What time is your flight?
Maybe some after the game thoughts here.
Yeah, I think they do need Keith Adams' help.
Yeah.
Keith, get in there and make a call, buddy. He's making one.
We have 3 fouls.
Oh, okay.
Offsides on the kicking team. we have an illegal block in the back on the receiving team. Those fouls cancel, offset. After the play, there was a dead ball personal foul on the kicking team to be penalized 15 yards and re-kick.
Okay. I mean, they figured it out. Offsetting fouls, then a personal foul. So you walk back to the 20-yard line, you kick off again, and that means Maryland will get some good field position.
And the reason they're kicking is because of Woody Dantzler's second rushing touchdown. Here's the fullback, so they think flow's coming this way. The safety comes that way, which leaves the hole wide open there for Dantzler. Watch the safety in his flow. He moves that way. The hole is wide open for him to get through.
And why was it wide open? Watch this center, Kyle Young. Unusual for a center to get the pull, and he loves it, and he kicks out, making the hole wide enough that it's really easy for Woody to explode past the secondary and into the end zone.
Kyle Young from right here in Clemson. Will Merritt is left guard from Easley, South Carolina. Both grew up as big Tiger fans and talked yesterday about the fact that they did have some questions early in their career whether their years would ever produce a turnaround season. Just 2 years ago, 3-8. And then the coaching changed from Tommy West to Tommy Bowden, and they had to go through the uncertainty of playing for the new staff. Never in their wildest dreams did they think things would turn this quickly. Are they ever loving? Sikiala near the 30. Rodney Thomas the hit, and tonight's storyline brought to you by WorldCom. Dantzler 46 on the ground, 136 through the air. Zachary and Dantzler 2 scores apiece. Jordan with another hit problem tonight, limiting him to just 8 carries, 31 yards.
But he is in the game. He's going to absolutely try and give it a go. He put a $177 on this Clemson team last year.
And they've stewed about it all year. And so far, they are getting the revenge. Jordan unable to make the open field move that will get him around Darryl Crutchfield. And as soon as he takes the handoff, he's already having to make some juice.
Yeah. I mean, Bill, does he look like the Lamont Jordan that we're used to seeing? It certainly seems like he's affected a bit by that.
No,
hit.
there are a couple of things going on. The safeties are up in there. They got 9 people in the box. So he's trying to make a move. He does not look like himself. He's not looking these DBs up to smash him. Crutchfield tackles him far too easily. And Crutchfield is not a great tackler. You don't expect him to get Jordan down one-on-one.
40 pounds lighter. Didn't look like it there. Jordan the other way. And only because he's hit from behind by Bryant McNeil does he pick up any yardage at all. Knocked him forward to the 35.
But Chad Carson forced that one. You're not for Keith Adams. Chad Carson would certainly be getting a lot more ink than he's getting. He did a great job beating the fullback block and forcing that.
Hey, the College Park dudes are tough. That's all I can say. College Park, Georgia, that is.
Also an academic All-America, carrying a 3.91 in biology. 1B in calculus. What in the world was he thinking? 3rd and 6. McCall, nice cutback on the keeper near midfield. First down, Maryland. And again a 15 for Calvin McCall.
Reggie Herring talks about his safe pressure defense, meaning they're going to get up and get after folks, but with a free safety or a zone in the back. The best answer for that is option football. It will absolutely gut this kind of thing. Everybody's coming in a gap. They get blocked. McCall does a nice job of putting the ball away, accelerating. They took the pitch away, but he got more than enough for the first.
Fake to Jordan, out of the eye, hanging one up deep, intercepted. Second tonight for Alex Ardley. A flag down. Ardley all the way to the 32 as we wait for the indication. 2 picks tonight, 3rd for the year, and a 39-yard return.
Well, the pass well behind the receiver, whether that was a bad pass or he ended up down after the play. Was he getting hit when he threw it? Did that cause it? I think it was a bad pass. Receiver doing an in route right to the middle of the field, and the pass ended up back out by the hashes. Jeez, we got more discussion here again.
During their turn, blocking below the waist, 15 yards, first down.
Oh, you see the play coming to the middle of the field is Gary's got to lead him to the inside. That ball should be coming inside the hash. It stays outside the hash. It's a very poor pass by McCall.
Second interception of the night does stand for Ardley, and he gets a nice reaction over there from the head coach. Likes what he's seeing from the secondary. Zachary is piled up at the line of scrimmage, and Tony Jackson, another hit. He's up near double figures in tackles, and William Shime from the defensive end joined him there.
Well, I would imagine Maryland learned something from that last drive. Clemson just came out and tried to run it down their throat. They're going to put people up and try and take that away and force Clemson to do something else. And already now you're in the empty backfield set, so they are doing something else.
I was about to say Clemson would be glad to accommodate. They got plenty else they can do. That's the thing that makes this offense so tough to stop.
Maryland timeout.
Maryland sees that, and they use the timeout. 2:44 in the third. .244 in the third, back after the Terp timeout, 2nd and 10 from the 42. Chancellor pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage by Marlon Moyer Moore. And how proud must Woodrow Sr. and Moselle be? And that's a real hero there. Woodrow Dantzler Sr. disabled in Vietnam by Agent Orange, and he taught his son a thing or two growing up about overcoming and courage, which he carries to this day onto the football field. Dantzler dancing. Can't get it down yet. A run by Woody Dantzler. Says it all right there.
Okay, Michael, he just moved up 3 clicks on Vic.
You know what is so impressive about him? He's like a pool player or a chess player. When he's running, he's not even looking at the guy that's in front of him. He's looking 2 or 3 men down the field on who he's going to beat.
He's thinking several moves ahead.
Unreal.
It's the best 11-yard gain you'll ever see. Now that's straight up the gut, Zachary. Gotta see this one again.
Incredible. Just his vision is incredible. He sees things happening way to his left that he knows it's opening up down there. So he just has to find a way to get back there.
Not like they hadn't seen it before, but they still have to enjoy it. Woodrow the third putting on a show here in the third quarter. Zachary unable to get outside. Fans want a late hit over there on the side by Jackson. No flag. Down to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, his dad isn't his only hero. Woody also grew up idolizing Warren Moon, which is why he wears #1 in honor of the quarterback. He said he liked Warren Moon because he was one of the first few African-American quarterbacks in the league. He went out and proved the naysayers wrong. He also loved the way he scrambled, and he loved his cannon of an arm, Dave.
You know, I had a chance to interview Warren Moon about 10 years ago, when at the time it was still unusual and something of a story when an African-American got a chance to play quarterback. And Moon said his hope before he finished his career would be that would no longer be so unusual as to be a story. And Woodrow III says he thinks they're there. He thinks you're now to the point where no matter what, at this level or the next level, the best quarterback will play regardless.
Exactly. If you can play, the coach can't afford to be a racist anymore. He'll get fired, which is exactly what he ought to get. You got to play the best players.
Well, Tommy Bowden's got one of the very best. In this drive, one of the best all year. by the Tigers. Minute 53 in the third. Rambert in for Zachary. Pass batted down. They've gotten their hands on a couple this drive, and Whaley gets this deflection.
Understand here with this 28-7 score, this is a scrappy Maryland team. This Maryland team has been demoralized and has not been playing particularly hard in the minds of their coaches until tonight. They have played their guts out in this game, and they're still struggling against the pace and the tempo of this offense.
Chancellor outnumbered that time. Even he can only work so much magic.
Yeah, sometimes you try and dance to get open, and a lot of times it works, but that 10th time or that 9th time out of 10, it doesn't. He tries to dance around 3 guys, and they're saying, Big man trying to take his head off there, too, at the end.
He almost does. 3rd and 13. Incomplete, intended for Zachary, I think, about halfway between Zachary and Gardner.
Yeah, I think he was trying for Gardner because he was past the sticks, but not a strong enough arm to throw it off his back foot like he did going backwards.
So, even as entertaining as it was, the drive gets bogged down at the 38 of Maryland. Lenny Somady on to kick it away to Julian Gary. What a shank this is. Wow. What's that going to be, about 12 yards? Wow. 12 yards exactly. That'll ruin your average. Sunday Night Football tonight. Tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN, the black and blue division matchup with Cade McNown and the Bears against Dante Culpepper and the Vikings. Coverage beginning with NFL primetime at 7:30 Eastern, and then Chicago and Minnesota tomorrow night on ESPN. Minute 3 remaining. 28-7 Clemson with Mike Golick, Bill Curry, and Michelle Tafoya. Dave Barnett, Death Valley, 85,000 or so on homecoming for Clemson. Game somewhat in doubt until a late second quarter score by the Tigers made it 20-7 at intermission. A safety and another touchdown and another missed PAT this quarter. Throwback incomplete. And no ruling yet as to whether that was a backward pass. It was just an incomplete pass intended for Jeff Dugan. It was almost an interception.
If Chad Carson would have turned and looked for the ball, he'd be standing in the end zone right now.
Chad is going to catch so much heat in the film session. Chad, you're a linebacker. That means look at the football, son.
Looking right there.
Please.
Go get the ball.
All you got to
Chad.
do is keep running and pluck that thing. You were so intent on terrifying Jeff Dugan, you didn't look at the ball.
Calvin McCall has missed his last 7 and is just 4 of 13 for the night. Jordan close to the first down. One of his better runs. Robert Carswell up to the tackle.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt, guys. Maryland's got to open this up, hit the corners, screens, draws, pull everything out of the bag right now. I mean, we're just a little bit over a quarter to go as the third quarter runs down, but you're down 28-7. It's time to open it up.
Yeah, and furthermore, when you get in punt situations, fourth down situations, if you want to make a statement to your team, whether you're able to come back or not in this game, try to win the game. Even if it costs you some points, even if you don't make it, Maryland's got to pull out the stops, go for it on fourth down, whatever it takes to say to the team, we're going to try to win, and that affects the rest of your season. They got games coming up that they ought to be able to win. And by the way, that's the first time that Jordan has looked like Lamont Jordan. He exploded, Michael, right up into the midst of those tackles.
He absolutely did. Yeah, I don't think outside of being backed up inside their 10, I think everything is 4-down territory for Maryland at this point.
Jordan over the second half of last season, the top ground gainer in college football, but nowhere near that pace this year. McCall, I don't think gets it on the sneak.
No, he definitely didn't get it. And It's amazing, Bill, but you look at the difference in quarterback sneaks. Something as simple as a quarterback sneak, the way Woody Dantzler would run it and put his shoulders down, and the way McCall ran it, you see he's almost standing, he's barely gets over.
He has got to drive, find a little crease here with his pads down. Instead, he goes in there with his sort of sideways. He's leaning sideways. Yep. Gets struck by Chad Carson, and then about 6 more. Instead of burrowing and driving his legs, they got to go for it again.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? Give it to Lamont Jordan. I don't even try the quarterback sneak again. I mean, that was just really a poor attempt at a quarterback sneak. You're right, turning sideways and trying to get in it. Give it to your big man right now and put the challenge on people.
I like the John Malkovich fake it and then throw it deep.
This would be a great time to do that.
Why not?
I agree with you, David. Very good call.
No, they go with Mike's. Hand it to Jordan, and it works on the last play of the 3rd quarter. So, 4th quarter will begin with Dantzler's Tigers owning a comfortable 28-7 lead thanks to 2 rushing touchdowns from Woodrow III. And a couple more from Zachary, 28-7 through 3. Fourth quarter at Death Valley. A happy homecoming indeed so far. Here at Clemson University, Dave Barnett, Bill Curry, Mike Golick, and Michelle Tafoya. We begin the 4th, 28-7 Clemson, but Maryland with a 1st and 10 from their 39. And McCall firing for Gary, incomplete. Tommy Bowden, 6-0, 4th in the country. The last time they won their first 7, they won all the rest. 1981, January 1st, 82, the Orange Bowl. Cliff Austin with a 2nd quarter touchdown, and he put Clemson up 12-7 over Nebraska. Homer Jordan later to Perry Tuttle, 13 yards. 19-7, then they win it 22-15 and get their first national title of any kind in any sport. 19 years later, they have those same dreams bouncing around their heads. Jordan picking up steam as the game moves along, and he gets that hip loosened. 16-yard pickup down to Michelle Tafoya.
Well, Dave, at least one person is predicting an Orange Bowl berth this season. It's linebacker Keith Adams. He said early on he thought his team would be playing for the national title, and yesterday he told me he is standing by that prediction. And by the way, last year he predicted he would set Clemson's single-season tackle record, and he did.
Yeah, so he's Karnak. You don't want to bet against him.
Has he got any lottery numbers?
You know, when the powers that be hired Tommy Bowden, that they hoped this day would come someday. But could they have ever expected it this soon? Halfback pass, Jordan. Overthrown, and Ardley has his 3rd interception.
Intercepted by Alex Ardley.
Flag is down, back at the line. Pending that, Alex Ardley has his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th interceptions of the season tonight.
And I think they're going to put it on the 2-yard line. Going the other way, even though we ended up in the end zone. I believe you're going to get a holding on Maryland.
Holding on the offense. Penalty decline. It's 1st down after the interception.
Yeah, they're going to say he obviously had possession before he went into the end zone. He never goes for the fake. Always keeps an eye on his receiver. You see this? He'll have possession right there before he gets in the end zone. Takes 2 steps before the end zone. That's why they mark it on the 2-yard line.
The operative word in football rules is impetus. If his impetus carried him into the end zone, wherever he got possession of the ball, that's where it goes on the ground.
Can we think of a tougher word?
Exactly right. Well, that's how it works.
I like a tougher word than that.
I'll teach you some more. You've learned several already.
I don't really like that word.
I don't like that rule. It's not like he's trying to make a return.
Right.
There's nothing he could have done.
We'll see if we can change it for you.
Would you? Zachary. Talk about a guy who's picked it up as the game has gone on. Zachary over 130 yards now.
But you want to talk about little plays of the game. That's a play where Maryland desperately needed to try and keep them pinned in, and already Clemson's got themselves some room.
137 to be exact for Travis Zachary. -1. Ouch, Jackson, a wipeout hit. Well, Zachary, one of the offensive stars, and there is your defensive star without any question. Alex Ardley, junior corner out of Tallahassee, with 1, 2, 3, count it, 3 interceptions. No Terp has made more than 2 catches tonight. Dantzler out of the 24. 12 more yards, so Ardley has 1 more catch than any of the intended targets of Calvin McCall. And he's tied the school record for a single game.
The play didn't work. The Lamont Jordan pass did not do what Maryland had hoped, but at least it said to the team, we're trying to win this game. We're trying to do some quick strike things. And I think that's important that they keep trying to play that way.
No gain this time for Zachary. Quick reaction, Leon Joe. Let's ask our Aflac trivia question. Who holds the NCAA single season record for most passing yards by a 1,000-yard rusher? Hold your answers.
I know.
No. Hold your answers.
All right.
Do the entire class time, and then we'll hear your guesses.
I know too well.
Oh, you might have been an eyewitness to history. Huh?
Yes.
Dantzler, time to look long for Gardner. Got it to the 25. 50 more yards. Dantzler to Gardner, and he has gone to him twice on 2 perfect deep passes.
What a great throw. He threw that up like a punt almost, guys. That thing had some air under it, just to break to the inside by Gardner, and he lays it up there and lets Gardner run right underneath it.
O'Connell had no inside help. He had inside position. He needed to keep that leverage and lost it.
His first catch went for 45. This one 50. 5 for 148 for Rod Gardner. And they're on to Zachary. 3 straight. No gain or loss. Landon Jones that time.
Boy, has Dantzler been impressive with that long ball. We saw a couple where he had some people and he overthrew them. Can be inconsistent at times, but there he did a great job of just laying it up, and he let his wide receiver do the work there. Throw it up, know your wide receiver. If it's a jump ball, will jump for it or he'll run underneath it.
The one he missed early to Justin Watts, he didn't put enough air on. You're like a guy who corrects his mistakes, and he's done it in the span of one night. On a keeper, he's to the 17. 12 more for Woodrow Dantzler. All right. Single season record, most passing yards by a 1,000-yard rusher. Let's hear your answers.
Brian Mitchell
is correct.
Brian Mitchell. He just about killed us in Tuscaloosa on homecoming day for Southwest Louisiana.
Zachary down near the 11, and then he clocked it up, but after the whistles had blown. Now, all season long, Bowden has been promoting the possibility that Dantzler would become the first ever 1,000-yard rusher and 2,000-yard passer. This, the projected total before tonight. He was on pace for 1342 on the ground, 1989. Just under 2,000 through the air. Nobody's ever done it. 1,000 rushing, 2,000 passing. 186 through the air tonight, 10 out of 19. This is Rambert in for Zachary. And Dantzler on the ground has carried it 16 for 79 and 2 touchdowns.
I also know Brian Mitchell has a record. He went on, he's a running back in the NFL with the Washington Redskins and now with the Philadelphia Eagles. And when I played against him, we beat up their first 2 quarterbacks when he was at Washington. Now, as at Philly, he actually did come in and play quarterback and took them down the field.
He can play anything.
Rambert takes the pitch all the way for another touchdown. You know things are going pretty well when your backup tailback, your 4th leading rusher, has 4 touchdowns on the season.
And I'll tell you what, he was barely touched. You got to give credit to the O-line, tight end, fullback, all the big guys up front who are leading the way, because these running backs, for the most part, are not getting touched till they're downfield, and another player is down.
It's unbelievable. This time it's Denard Wilson.
The theory of the offense is to grind the defense into submission in the 4th quarter. They just pound and pound and pound. And a valiant effort by Maryland is going by the boards because they just couldn't stand up to the withering pressure. Their offense didn't keep them off the field enough, and they had to keep going back out there. And Clemson has had wonderful field position.
Denard Wilson, true freshman. Upper Marlboro from DeMatha High School. A great basketball coach, Morgan Wooten, just inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame this week. Wilson, one of their best football products. And, boy, that's got to be, what, 8 different injuries that have had to get trainers out on the field for the Terps.
And I tell you what, Bill, I agree. I think that this defense of Maryland has played tough tonight. I think the offense didn't give them enough chances to do well on defense. They were out on the field for a lot of plays, and it's taken its toll now into the 4th quarter.
Yeah, it really hasn't. That's the whole theory. Play outstanding defense, of course. Everybody wants to do that. But just take the other team's defense and beat up on them and exhaust them, make them run all over the field. And even if we don't have much going until the 4th quarter, we get you in the 4th quarter. In this case, they went into the 4th quarter with a substantial lead and now are adding to it.
Well, look at Coach Vanderlyn, and I mean, what do you say to your team going in now? Not only you're getting beat here, but quite honestly, you are getting beat up. So when we come back, I'd like to find out what do you tell these guys?
10:01 to go. 34-7. Well, Denard Wilson was able to walk off the field. Aaron Hunt this time for the PAT after Lazara had missed 2. And he drills it 35-7. Bernard Rambert let them know all about the touchdown. So out of Summerville, South Carolina. Got an offensive line that ranges between 260 and 280 pounds. By modern standards, they're tiny, but boy, are they effective.
If you were a little bitty offensive lineman, as many of us were, you gotta love these guys. John McDermott leading up inside, pulling, kicking out. Everybody has to be able to run. Theo Mugros, number 60, turning up inside. Kyle Young kicking out. Center pulling and kicking out. And now for the touchdown, everybody turns and runs. Excellent quickness, speed, and endurance. And they grind the opposition into exactly the posture they want them in.
Are they the college version of the Denver Broncos line? Also very small, but very good.
Yes, indeed. All technique, endurance, and toughness.
It'll be Lazara back out for the kickoff. On the return, Julian Gary near the 30. Stanford and Oregon State on the Pac-10. Reese Davis, update us.
And how about some props for Ken Simonton in that Heisman debate? I know it's a little bit of a stretch. He is the nation's 4th leading rusher, and he's doing it to the Cardinal right here once he got himself in motion. 10 yards out. Captain 11 play 67-yard drive. Beavers up 31-6, and Alabama rolling right now over Ole Miss 21-7. They're early in the 3rd quarter.
Well, you saw that, no, Tyler Watts torn ACL. No more Alabama quarterback controversy the rest of this year anyway. McCall on the option keeper hit at the line.
And off to number 9, carried by number 9.
Let's go down to Michelle.
Well, Dave, Clemson defensive coordinator Reggie Herring told us yesterday that he demands perfection from his players every day, every play, every drill. And I can tell you that on the sidelines, even after a sack or an interception, Herring finds defensive mistakes and the players hear about it. In fact, the first few rows of fans hear about it. This is Herring's way of making sure these players don't suffer a single lapse that could cost them a season, Dave.
They haven't come close to that tonight. Big improvement from a year ago. Atala in a foot race, and Ardley continues his big night by coming all the way across the field to chase him down, but it's still a 41-yard catch and run for Jason Hatala.
And let's get oxygen for Reggie. Oxygen for Reggie. Reggie is an instant humility lesson for his squad, and what he does not want to see now is for Maryland to jump. Not they're going to get back in this game, but they're going to run up yards on his defense. He doesn't want that.
No, they haven't run up nearly as many as last year. Now that's including that big gain by Hatala. Still only 217 total Maryland yards tonight. McCall had missed 8 straight passes before that last one. Now he hits 2 in a row. And this will be 1st and goal for the Terps. Scooter Monroe has a 20-yarder.
Like seeing this fight out of Maryland, absolutely moving it down the field, making it for McCall. Look, he rolls out, that cuts the field in half, but it also gives him a little more time for an attacking defense. Good couple of moves out there by Scooter, doing an in and out move to get open. 1st and goal.
Jordan thought he saw a little room. He doesn't quite have the veer that he had last year. Really hasn't all this year.
I think he's unconsciously protecting that hip just a little bit. That has nothing to do with his courage. He is certainly courageous, but he is not as physical as he has been. He did not pour that into that guy. Bounce, spin, scratch, bite. He actually started to spin, Mike, before he got to the tackler, and that is not good football.
Yeah, normally he's going to drop his shoulders down and try and run over him and then maybe try and spin. He started to spin early.
He admits it, and he agrees with you. He hasn't run as tough, and the blocking has not been quite as physical as last year either. Not bad here, though. Almost untouched. There's the Lamont of old.
He does not want us up here criticizing him. I'll tell you, he's a man. I was impressed with his demeanor. He said that he was a quarterback, and he really liked John Elway because he had a gun. And you said, well, why aren't you playing quarterback? He said, well, I don't have a gun. And we just saw he had a long gun there a while ago, but he threw it too long. He can sure run with a football.
And he questioned everybody, including his physical play this year. Said the team has not been playing as physical as they did last year, and he was the first one to point at himself first, along with the rest of the team, and trying to step it up, being that leader.
Ryan Kopka, one of the better kickers in the country, makes it 35-14. 8:07 remaining. Not been much of a year or much of a night for Lamont Jordan, but still making the most of the time he has left. 85,000 expected here, and they were right there. They're still pretty close. Hardly anybody's gotten the homecoming party started yet. They're enjoying every bit of this one. Still 8:07 to go.
They ought to do an onside kick. Clemson's vulnerable. They're too deep up front. Be a good time to try one.
Reams 9 yards deep. Well, we were discussing the Heisman race as it currently shapes up, and boy, who was it that said Vic wasn't in the top 3?
Well,
not among our voters this evening.
No,
that would be Michael Golick.
I stand by it. I still stand by it. Certainly doesn't look good there in print, though, does it?
Well, you stand by. You just stand by, and we'll give you a call when we need you. We'll meet you in the parking lot to get your next opinion.
Well, you admire somebody that's willing to just stand there in the face of all evidence and just go down in flames.
Do not confuse me with the facts.
We got a ways to go in the season. We got a ways to go.
Yes, we're still in there. 21-point lead in all. 7:53 remaining.
I think if they would not have scored there and got the ball back, you would have seen Willie Simmons, the backup quarterback, because he was warming up on the sidelines.
Two more for Zachary, down 139 yards. And 2 touchdowns.
Smart. He's letting the clock run down, letting the play clock run down. Smart move by the quarterback.
It's still going to be a while.
If you're that offensive lineman down in that stance, that's a long time.
Still with it after the fake. Dantzler will be close to the first down. Let's send it down to Michelle Tafoya.
All right, Dave. Well, I'm sitting with Woodrow and Moselle. These are Woody Dantzler's parents. And Woodrow, Woody says he gets a lot of his leadership from you. You were in Vietnam. You were affected by Agent Orange. He saw what you went through, and he draws a lot of his strength from you.
All of his leadership comes on is little league,
Karate and Little League. Yeah, he got that from you. Moselle, you know, I know that he told me you two would be proud of him no matter what he did well, no matter what he succeeded at. But I've been watching the two of you down here. You seem to be very much enjoying his success on the football field.
I am. Yes, I am. Very much.
Is this as good as any kind of, what would you rather see him succeed at? The school, the football?
Well, I would like for him to, you know, do his best in school, but this is what he loves to do. So whatever, you know, this is what he's going to succeed in. So, okay. But I tell him to always, you know, his schoolwork first, because he's going to have to fall, he may have to fall back on it.
Congratulations to both of you. Heisman talk too premature?
Well, I'll say it like this. Whatever the Lord has planned for him, he's going to get it. That's all I can say.
Thank you both.
And Michelle, he's taking care of the schoolwork, too. He's on pace to have his degree at the end of his junior season in sports marketing. Maybe come back as a senior and a grad student next year. Well, who knows, by then a Heisman winner.
Yeah, my vote's still leaning this way. Woody Dantzler, what he's done tonight, both running the ball, gets to the outside very well, does a great job with vision and his blockers. Good touch on the ball, good accuracy in a crowd. Again, following the blockers. Great balance. We'll see at the end of the year, guys. I'm not giving up on my choices yet.
Something else that very obvious when you talk to him, and maybe it comes from the head coach on down, because Tommy Bowden is the same way. Very unimpressed with anything they've done to this point. They are cold-eyed realists about what they've achieved and what they still have to do to achieve their goals. And among their still to be played contests, you immediately, you circle that one at Florida State.
And throw South Carolina in there, too, the way they've been playing. Those are two tough ones to end on, but daddy and son is certainly going to be a matchup.
And who would believe that just in his second year, he'll probably go into that game as you would think the favorite.
Yeah.
Right now they've got the better ranking, they've got the better record.
Favorite over daddy?
Maybe.
Well, I'm telling you now.
Maybe.
Ann Bowden will get involved there, the mom. Ann's not going to like one of these babies coming home favorite over daddy.
That is in Tallahassee, but they came close last year. They may have the better team this year. We'll find that out.
ESPN2's presentation of primetime college football is brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
What a year 2000 has been. Number 4, Clemson, about to go to 7-0. The first time in 19 years. Willie Simmons with 5:35 to go in at quarterback for Dantzler. And Keith Kelly, true freshman from Walterboro, South Carolina, on the carry.
They made the complete switch. The complete second team is in there. You're going to see a lot of clean jerseys and pants right now as the backups get a chance. And this is exactly the situation you'd love to have. Get some guys some experience right now.
Make him up 1 yard on the play.
Willie Simmons, one time last year, they thought maybe would have the upper hand even on Dantzler to replace Brandon Streeter. Not anticipating the strides that Woodrow has made in a year. Kelly looking in vain for the cutback alley, and it never shows up. Well, it is coming. Just a couple of weeks. We'll see Bowden Bowl 2. What a game last year right here. Clemson with early success and a halftime lead of 14-3 over the eventual national champs. Knowles come back, forcing a Lazara 41-yarder, no good. And Daddy takes the first Bowden Bowl, 17-14. Tommy yesterday said, I knew we were in trouble when we were up 14-3 at the half. We made him mad. It's the worst thing you can do.
Made Daddy mad. He went to the locker room and said, I knew they'd come out smoking.
Simmons throwing the deep ball and broken up, intended for Kevin Youngblood. Jerome Cox and Randall Jones on the coverage. Down to Michelle.
Well, Dave, Tommy Bowden also said that his dad, Bobby, said earlier this year, you know, kicking and penalties are going to cost me when we play Florida and Miami. And he didn't mention Clemson, and Tommy kind of reminded him about that. But Tommy is afraid that Clemson's going to be ranked higher than the Seminoles when they go down there, and that the Seminoles again will be mad and beat them back upstairs.
There's a real good chance that they are going to be ranked higher. So that makes him mad. He's going to be mad for about a month. So Maney's punt. Returned by Gehrig. 3:49 remaining.
You know, and this isn't the first son being ranked ahead of Dad now. Terry Bowden in '94 when he was coaching at Auburn, and Tommy was the offensive coordinator. They were ranked ahead of Dad for 6 weeks now. Daddy ended up ranked ahead of him at the end of the year, but now Tommy's taking his turn, and he should end up, when they meet, be ranked ahead of him.
It's not how you drive, it's how you arrive. And that's what Bobby has understood for a long, long time. And you talk about him getting mad. He doesn't get mad, he just gets even.
He gets even.
Yep. He knows how to play.
Well, you think we could bribe Ron Franklin and Mike Gottfried into maybe switching assignments that week?
No.
Any chance at all?
No.
Well, forget the bribing. We got size. I'm just going to go in there and say we're
We'll
doing it. How
send
about
Golick
that?
in and let him do his kind of negotiating, and I think he can get their attention. You know, just fear.
You have your assignment.
Oh, I can do that. That'll be fun. Just close the doors and let me take care of it.
Well, in Tallahassee this year, they're going to have to kick again. Backed them up on a 5-yard penalty, so Sumani will have a little more room to work with, and he angles this one away from Gehrig. And rolls it dead at the 10. Don't forget, coming up, more college football here on ESPN2. Fort Collins, the site, UNLV visiting Colorado State, 9:30 Eastern, 7:30 Mountain Time for the Mountain West matchup, the Rebels and the Rams. That is next. Well, Calvin McCall remains the quarterback for Maryland. In this game for the first half, almost within 7 at the half. A late Clemson score just before intermission made it 20-7. That ball almost intercepted by Hafley. Had 2 shots at it.
Not a good throw by McCall, but Dave, you mentioned earlier, what does Vander Linden say to his team? What you say to your team, I think tonight, hey men, we fought hard, we played a better football team, and we made too many mistakes on offense, but defense, you definitely improved. He told us his goal was for his team to improve tonight. I think they have. They've played harder than they did the film we watched from a week ago and 2 weeks ago, and they can build on this, and they'll need to do that.
McCall out of the shotgun, pump fake, now throws it out to Jordan, and there's nobody covering him. So he is chased out by the quick reacting Adams, who's still in. Rest of the way, the Terps, who will fall to 2-4, not impossible for them to make the postseason. They got Wake Forest and Duke coming up. Tough one with NC State. Then they go to Chapel Hill, and they close with Georgia Tech.
Interesting observation. The entire second offense went out there, Mike, but that starting defense is on the field because Reggie does not want any more points on his defense.
D coordinators are a different crew.
Adams is out there.
Incomplete for Dugan.
Hardley's out there. Carswell's out there. Carson's out there. Jolly's out there. You know what those names? Those are starters. They're still in the game.
Maryland a year ago, a 5-2 start. They were a play away from winning that 6th game, which would have made them bowl eligible. They haven't been since the '90 independent. Never recovered. Finished 5-6. They thought in Vanderland, and they may still have him, but they thought they had the man to engineer their turnaround in football. Didn't happen quite last year, and not turning into that type of season this year either. McCall chased down by Bryant McNeil. An 11-yard loss. McNeil, who started for the injured Terry Bryant, the senior who was out with a full calf muscle.
At this point, I think they just want to do stuff to make their defensive coordinator happy right now.
Yeah, he's going to tell them we should have shut these guys out. You gave them 14 points. I'm going to make you do extra running.
He absolutely will. He is the kind of coordinator that will do something like that.
Open on the side, Jafar Williams.
Pass complete to number 19.
Quite enough for the first. Pick up a 14, stops the clock, 2:43.
Pick up of 14 yards on the play. 4th down.
You know, their challenge all week has been, how do you keep them motivated? You got to demand perfection and not accept even a play like that.
This guy will remind you that you're not perfect. There is no doubt about that. He's one of those guys, even after you win. I had Buddy Ryan as a head coach. You still didn't want to go into film sessions when you won if your defense gave up some points.
Well, I imagine it's a balance between setting the bar at a realistic level, but high enough to where it's almost never attained. You want to keep them from ever being satisfied with themselves. What a punt. Man, it is killed at the 1.
Yeah, this guy's a big leaguer. He may not be great on ground balls, but he's a darn good punter.
71 yards.
Wow.
Dead at the 4, they say. Brooks Bernard, 3rd in the country coming in.
Yeah, he may be first after that one. In warm-ups, this guy kicked all of them like that. They can get themselves going on offense. Maryland's got a chance to be a decent team.
You know, Dave, you hit it right on the head, though, when you talked about the defense or the team when you're undefeated. Never make them feel like they've satisfied, like they've accomplished, because the accomplishment doesn't come until hopefully after that Orange Bowl when you're crowned the national champion. So you never want to have that feeling of satisfaction right now.
Everybody talks about how evenly matched college football programs are these days with the limits in recruiting. You see it again this week. You have one off game, all of a sudden no more national championship hopes. Happened to Kansas State, Ohio State. They were knocked out of the unbeaten ranks earlier.
And how interesting are the BCS polls when they come out a week from Monday going to look now? We've seen more undefeateds fall. We have another week of ball before that comes out, but it should be very interesting to see the positioning of teams.
Figure again, Nebraska and Virginia Tech to be right up there. But what will be interesting is how much progress has Clemson made from last year to this year. That ultimately is the rating that really counts. Simmons winding the play clock down before the give to Kelly. He might have had his face mask grabbed there. Well, evidently not. No flag.
Kelly's got a little bounce problem. Coach Bowden's going to get Kelly on the side. He had him last time. Said, I want you to turn it up in there and find a crease. If there's not a crease, make one. Don't keep bouncing outside. Good experience for the young back.
You coaches, $1:20 to go in the game, you have one, and you guys just coach them.
Hey, pour it up in there. We're talking about perfection here, man.
Play clock, still 8 seconds. Kelly. A little stiff arm for Tony Jackson.
Still doing it. He just never did plant his foot and go north and south.
Will you stop coaching, Bill? Just stop it.
Absolutely not. Just as long as I don't have to coach you. Trying to teach you a few things, and these kids got a chance. Tommy Bowden will meet him, and that'll be a lesson, because there'll be a time this year they'll need that young man to go north and south. East and west doesn't get it for your tailbacks.
The coach is coaching, but the team is thinking about the homecoming parties after the game.
Yep, they are.
So Maney's punt should end the homecoming victory for the Tigers, who go to 7-0 for the first time since '87. They are bowl eligible earlier than at any point in school history, and they're on pace with that '81 national championship team at 7-0, 5-0 in the league. Again, our final score, the Tigers 35, Maryland 14. Coming up next on ESPN2, UNLV Colorado State out in the Mountain West. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, your home for college football on the internet. Woody Dantzler runs for 2 touchdowns. Alex Ardley intercepts 3 balls, and the Tigers stay perfect. For Bill Curry, Mike Golick, and Michelle Tafoya, I'm Dave Barnett saying so long from Clemson with the Tigers roll again. Let's send it back to Reese Davis in the studio.